Boardgames with Niramas. I'm Joseph. Draco is here to just hold the box of Clever Cube because I am going to play solo. So I'm going to play a full solo playthrough here. This fun little game that basically builds on the That's Pretty Clever was the first one, and it was twice as clever or doubled as clever. And I really enjoy this one, this third version. I think it's really fun. I played the first one so much on my app on my phone. But I also played it in physical form, and I think this one is more interesting in physical form than the first one. I will say that when you play multiplayer, it's basically the same. So I am going to, as I keep playing here, you're going to see how it works solo, but you will also see how it works multiplayer, so you can learn from this video. So here we have the sheet of, this is the main thing here. So we're going to play 6 rounds, because we're playing solo, or 2 players. If you play 3, you play 5, and if you play 4 players, you play 4 rounds. Gonna get to pick 3 dice each round, and then depending on the die color and pip value, we're gonna assign them to these different areas, and that's gonna give us points in different ways as well. So I'll show you as we get going. We are going to start off here with me rolling the dice. I will have the rulebook just on the side here for some reference. So, and we are also going to sort these a little bit like this and in number order. And let's see here. So I have a round 1 is perfect because the first thing you need to fill on the brown area, you need to go from left to right, and you need to fill the exact number showing, and then you just cross this out. So and you can start anywhere you want, though. I should say that you could start, like if I had a brown 5, I could start there, but you can never go back, so then I could never get the brown 1. So I'm happy to take the 1, because also you want to take a low number, because I will take this one, I'll place it on my 1 slot over here. And I will fill in, or I will X out the 1 on the brown track. And if I had taken, let's say, the 4 here, then everything below the 4 would go to the silver plate, and I wouldn't have access to it as freely as I would with the other ones. Now I will re-roll. I'm going to roll again. Once you take a die, you roll the rest. And again, I like to sort them a little bit quickly like that to get an idea. And so I have a white one, and white is a wild card, so it can be anything. Now for pink, I would like a higher number. For blue, it's kind of weird because they call this turquoise and this blue, but I would say this is more like purple, and that's, I don't know. So blue here I couldn't do, because blue is going to be based on, you start with a 7, you start in the middle, and then you work your way out. So to the right, it has to be +1 on each. It has to be an 8 and then a 9 and so on. You can also reset it with a 7 anytime you want. But you want to get up to 10, 11, 12, because that will be 4 points extra per number in that span. If you go downwards, you're going to go to 6, 5, 4 and so on. And then you get extra points, 4 extra points if it's a 2, 3 or 4 in here. And you can reset here as well. Now you want to get over to the edge here, of course. But when you do the blue, you always combine, so in this case it's a 6, you always combine that with whatever the white is, no matter where the white is at that point. So if I took the white 1 and combined it with the blue, that would be 7, which doesn't work here. I could go for this 4 to go into the turquoise area. It's a hard word to say for Swede. I could do the 6 yellow, which I think I'm leaning towards. It is a bit risky though, because if I take the 6 yellow, then everything below it in value will be placed up here on the plate, and I only get to re-roll the blue one. And I know I will have a white one, so the only thing that would work is if I roll a 5 on this, because that would be 5 plus 1, because it always combines with the white. That would be a 6 that I could place here then, next to the 7. So that's too risky. I can't take that chance. That's too much of a risk. By the way, we are also in round number 1. I should mark it up here, and I get 1 reroll to start off the game. So I do have 1 reroll. I could reroll if I wanted to, but instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 1, the white, and that could be anything, and I'm going to go into the turquoise area. So in here, you look at the value of what you just got. But then if you already had the same pip value placed earlier during the round, you will add that. So this will be 2 squares I can cross out of number 1. So I will sort of get to use my brown dice again in a sense. So And when I do this, half of these sort of are blue or turquoise background, and the other ones are white. To get these bonuses out here from rows and columns, I only need to fill the turquoise. I don't need to fill the white ones, but to get maximum score, which is 21 if I fill all 6 in one row, and then you count each row separately, then I also need to go into the white ones. But I want to get the bonuses first, so I'll do ones. And I think I'll go like this and that. So that's 2 again, because it was I already had one placed, so that's why I got 2 effects in one action. And then I need to reroll everything else. And more ones. Oh yeah, so this is a good combo. This is sort of what I was hoping for here. Because now I can take the turquoise one, and I already have 2 since before, so I have 3. So I can fill in 3 more ones, which means I get all of them. Which means I have filled the full column, so I get this bonus. I just usually do that to mark I've done it, which is a brown one. So it's brown question mark, which means I can do any number on brown. But again, I want to go from, I have to go from left to right, so I'll do a 5. On the brown here, now I have surrounded this little symbol, which means I get that bonus. This is why this game is so fun, and same goes for the previous game. So you get like one thing leads to another, it's combo wombo all over. And now I got one of these little extra dice, so I can mark it here. So now I can turn once during the game. I can use a die, and I can turn the number into a 3. Well, I don't actually turn the die, but I can use it as a number 3 whenever I want. And the dice that I didn't choose, they go up here. And now that is basically my turn. If I were playing multiplayer, if Draco was involved, now Draco would get to pick one of these dice to use on his sheet. That's how multiplayer works. Instead though, in solo, what you do is you take all the dice and you roll them. And you take the lowest numbers, which was 1, 2, 3, and place up here. And then you take these based on how far away from the plate they rolled. And you place them in order. It would be like this. The only thing that matters really for this order is the yellow one, but we'll get to that later. So what we have up here now is 1, 2, 3. And now it's like I'm the passive player, as it's called. This is simulating Draco doing a turn, because Draco will do his turn, he will place his dice, he will have 3 there, and then I get to pick one of them, and that's what I get to do now. I get to pick one of them. So I could take a turquoise 1, which I already finished everything. And again, if there were 2 ones here, and I was the passive player, I would get to, and I took the turquoise, I would get to mark 2 spaces. It's based on the number of pips on here. So now we have 1, 2, 3. The 3 is combined with the white, the blue, so that would be 8, and that's perfect because then I can mark the 8 here on the blue track. So that gets me closer to some bonuses and getting me some points as well. All right, so that was my whole first round. Now let's go to round number 2. We will mark it here, and there. This time I will get a +1, which means I can, at any time, I can use an extra die. So that's pretty good. Let's roll it up. Okay, so we have, let's say, 1, 3, 4, 4, 6, 6. I do need a brown 3, so I am going to take this. I'm going to mark it here, and now I have surrounded a pink bonus. So let's scratch that. In the pink one, I can put in any number, and this is really interesting. If I put in a number here, well, the first one is going to be halved. So it's going to be half the value. So I'm going to choose a 6 because I got a bonus. So I'm just choose a number. I'm going to choose a 6, which means I get a 3 in there. It's half. So that's pure points for the end of the game. However, later on here, from the start of next time I do a pink one, I can choose, do I want it to be half the value for points? If I do, then I get the bonus underneath. Or do I want to multiply it with the top? So let's say over here, there's a ×3 multiplier. If I put a 6 here, that's 18 points. But then I don't get the fox. And the fox is really good. I will get to that later. Now I took the 3, which means everything below it, the 1, will go up there on the plate. And the rest will be rerolled. Alright, so yellow 1, blue 2, which means now blue would be 3 because it's combined with the white. And I can't do a 3 here. So that's not an option. I could do pink 5. But that would leave me with only these turquoise 6. So I think I'm going to take the yellow one. Yellow is also interesting. So yellow are basically 3 separate rows. Depending on which of these, when you took the yellow die, like in this case, I'm on the number 2, it's my second die of the round. I can put a 1 in this row, so I can mark this one here. And the bonuses are based on, again, surrounding. So if I get a 1 up here or a 1 down there, I will surround the bonus and I will get that bonus active. Then I will score separately for each round, and the maximum is 42 points if I mark all 6 in one round. Some of these spaces are gray, and those, like I can fill those on my turn if I want to, but if I do it as a passive player, when it's another player's turn, or in the solo game when I do the solo thing, and I just get to pick 1 from up here, then I can only fill the gray ones. But then I can fill any level. So that was my action. Everything else will reroll. And that's 2 2s and a 4, so the blue 2 doesn't work. The 4 works, but then I only get to mark 1 of the 4s. I would rather do like I did in the first round, get a bunch of them on the same pip value for the turquoise. So I think I'll just go with the simple thing. I'll take the pink 2, and I'm gonna half the value, so it's just gonna be a 1. That means I get this reroll, so I have another reroll to use later on. Then let's go to the sort of solo round where I simulate another player rolling all the dice. Take the lowest numbers, 3 lowest numbers, and then we take them in order of where they landed, like that. So I have 1, 2, 3 to choose from. I don't want the turquoise 1. The white 3 could be a 7 with the blue, which means I could go 7 here, a reset. I went 7, 8, and then I could go back to 7 if I want to. Don't think I want to though, because again, remember, you want to get to 10, 11, 12, because then you get extra points. I could use that for anything really. Brown 2 doesn't work for me. I need a 4. If I wanted to, let's say I needed a 3, brown 3, I could have taken the brown, scratched this out, and then used that as a 3. But I don't have the 4 yet. I don't have that bonus. So I think I will just use the 3 white for anything really that makes sense. And if I can't use any of these dice up here, then I get to use one of these. And the same goes in the multiplayer game. But a 3 wild, I could go yellow, I think. I'll go yellow. I'll go here. And again, because I'm using it as a passive player now, I'm not the active player, I can only go into the gray spots on the yellow area. And I wanted that 3 there, so I'm working on this middle row there. All right, that was round number 2. Round number 3. Starting off with getting me one of these extra number modifiers. So now I can modify to a 4 once if I want to. And we're gonna roll all the dice and see what we get. Okay, let's see here. I have white 1, which I could, since it's my first die, if I take this, it's my first one, I could mark the 1 here. I will get the bonus in between, which is just a reroll though. I don't think I want that right now. I always go from the lowest first, because like if I took the 6, that would be my only die this round. That would be terrible. So you want to make sure you can get 3 dice most of the time at least. But if I go for I don't want to do turquoise right away, because I want to do it later so I get more numbers to scratch in there. 4 wouldn't work. 3 plus 1. So the only decent option now, I think, is to do the pink 2, which means it goes in here. Now I could choose to double it to have write in a 4 and get 4 points, but I'm just going to half it into 1, because then I get this bonus, which is a free number here on the blue. So I'm going to go 9 over there, and I instantly get that bonus, which is another reroll. Another really cool thing in this game that wasn't in the previous games is that even the actions here, if I get 4 more rerolls, I will get a fox. Like there's bonuses up here even for the actions, even if I use them. Such a cool thing there. And the 1 goes there. I will roll again. There's 3 5s. Could I use a yellow 5? I could go there, I guess. Brown 1 is not going to work, but I could take the brown 1, scratch the 4 there, and that would count as a 4. I think I'll do that. So I'll take the brown 1. I will get rid of this 4 up here though. So I'm using this as a 4, which means I can mark it on the brown track. And then it's reroll time again. And we have 2 5 6. The 2 could be a 3 together with that, but that doesn't work on the blue. The 5 is not that great right now. A 6 yellow would be down there because I have to go on the 3rd row since this is my 3rd die. I think I'm going to reroll. I don't like any of these. I'm going to reroll. And you have to reroll all of them, all the available ones. 2, 3, 5. Yellow 2 or 5. Oh, I don't like these either. If I could get like a blue 6 would... No, blue 5 would be nice. Do I want to yeah, let's reroll again. I'm using another reroll. Come on, be lucky. Okay, is that better? Sort of. So the 4... No, the 4 wouldn't be good here. The 6, that's 7, so I could reset to 7, which means I could do a brown. Okay, let's do that. So I'll take the 6... Or do I really want to reset the blue track already? I don't think so. No, let's take a yellow 2. I'll do the 2 over there. Sort of building up on yellow here. Get some bonuses later on. That's my action. Now let's do the solo thing. Where we roll them. We take the 3 lowest ones. And then in order of how close they got to the box. Basically, or however you do it. And I can take one of these 3. So if I go yellow 2, I can't do that because it has to be in a gray space if I do it during this phase. The pink isn't that exciting. The white 1... Oh, okay, now I'll take the white 1 because the white 1 together with 5 is 6. So I can go 1 lower than 7. So I can do a 6 there on the blue. That's good. Now if I wanted to, I could also use this to take 1 more die. And then I can take any die. So would that be good? No, I don't think so. Not right now. Okay, next round, round number 4, I get a black question mark, which means I get a die of any color and any value that I can just put in right now. So I think I'll do something. I'll do this, brown 2. Because then I get another reroll. I'm trying to work on... I want to get all the rerolls I can get to the fox up there, if possible. There's still a bunch to get, though. Rerolls are good, anyway. Just by themselves. And then... Now they can also give me more points, which is cool. Low numbers. Okay, that could be tricky. 1 turquoise is worthless, because I already filled all the 1 turquoise. 1 yellow would be good, though. Because then, that's my first die. I have to go on this row. That means now I cover this, I get this reroll there. And everything else will be rerolled. Again, low numbers. Blue 1 together with white would be 3. That's too low, can't do that. 2. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll take the white 2, which means these go there. And I'll use it as yellow. So I can do, and I have to go on the second row. So that means I have covered this bonus. So now I can do anything I want over here. And then I'll take the 2, which means I now get this bonus because you only need to fill the turquoise. So I get another turquoise. And I'll do a 2 there. And I'm going to be looking for a 3 later on. So I can get the brown bonus as well. These are going to reroll. 2 and a 5. And I kind of wish they were opposite. If I had a turquoise 2, I would do it because then I could get 2 more 2s. But a brown 2 is not going to work. So it's reroll time, I think. Let's reroll these 2. Come on. Okay, here we go. 2 and a 6. Okay, well then I was going to take this, but now I got a brown 6. That's too good to pass up. And when I put in the brown 6 here, I get the bonus of any turquoise right away. So I can do a 3 actually. Which means I get the bonus of brown. So now I can do a brown 4. So I'm really working on this brown track. There's a lot of points to be had. You can get points all over basically. So that I took the brown 6 and that was my round. Let's do the solo thing where we roll up everything and it's 3 lowest ones. And now there's a tie. So 1, 2, and then there's 2 2s more. You take the one closest to the box. And then the other ones you go as normal. They go here depending on how close they are to the roll box. Or if you have a dice tray or whatever, you just have that as a tiebreaker. So 1 pink, 2 anything. No, I don't think so. 2. Okay, this is good. I'll take the 2 turquoise because there's another 2 here. I'll get to mark 2 spaces, which means I finished all the 2s. Well, not the white one down there, but I don't have to fill that for the bonus. So I still get this purple, pink bonus. And the pink bonus here is on a double times 2 space. So if I want to, I can go with a 6 and have 12 points. Or I can go with a 6, get a 3, and then get a +1. I'm going to go with the points this time. So that's 12 points, 6 times 2. Right, that's good. New round, number 5. I don't get anything special. Let's see what we can get here. Brown 4 is not going to work. It's too high anyway. I can't take a 4. I could take a 3, but I'd rather have 2 3s in that case. So I think I'm down to doing one of these just... I could reroll. Or I take a white 1. No, that's not good for anything. I'm going to reroll. Let's see if I can get anything better here. So 5s, 3s, 1, 2. The brown 1. Okay, blue 2 combined with the white. You always combine those. That's 5. So I can go from 6, 1 lower, 5. I get one of these bonuses where I get to have a 5, so I can make a die into a 5 at any point. Once, and then I took a 2, so this goes there. These will be re-rolled. That's 1, 3, 4. Yellow 1 doesn't work on the second row. I don't want to do a 3 right now, so re-roll. It's my last re-roll though. It's a bit of a gamble, but here we go. 1, 2, 2 6s. The 6 isn't terrible. I do need that reroll as well. I'd rather do another 6 first then, but 1, 2. No, I'll do it. I'll take the turquoise 6 just to mark this spot because that's all that needed for the reroll to get another reroll. I just need one more reroll. Where is it? It's over there. Oh wow, I need to do a lot of pink in that case. We'll see. These go up there, and I will do pink now at least. There's a 2. It's not that exciting, but I'll half it to 1, and I get that, so I get a 6 anytime I want. Well, not anytime I want. I need to use a die and turn it into a 6. That was my round. So we go into the solo part. And 1, 3, 3 is the lowest. That's closest to the box, and then that one and that one. And the only time this matters if I do my +1 and take one of these, then if I take like the yellow 5 here, it gets have to be a yellow 5 on, which is actually pretty good. Okay, so 1, 3, 3. 1 there is not good. 3 brown is not good, but I do want to do this. I'll take the pink 3, which will be halved and it's always rounded up, so it's a 2, which means I get the yellow, so I can do any yellow. I do want to work on one row because that gives me the most points, so I'll do a 4. Then now I'm going to use my +1. I'm going to take this yellow 5 just as I talked about and mark this. So I have 1 to 5 on yellow there, which is already 30 points. That's good. But 6th round is coming up. I don't think I have enough to get... Well, I need to get 2 more pink, which I can do. I can use the white, you know, as pink as well. Lots of 5s, a 4, a 3, and a 1, which is kind of perfect, I think. I'll just take the pink 3 then, and I'll half it down to 2. And I don't get the points, the doubler, but I get the brown, which gets me over here, which gets me a +1. So there we go. The other one should be re-rolled. 6, 5, 5, 4. 4 yellow on the second doesn't work. 5 brown doesn't work. And okay, I'll do this. I'll take the yellow 4, which doesn't work on the second row, but I have the 6 up here, so I can pretend this is a 6, which means I can mark the 6, so I completed that row. Not bad. 3s and a 6, and I think I'll do this then, just to have it done. So I'll take the white 3, which means I can treat it as pink, and it's gonna half into 2, and then I get the last reroll. So now I secured this fox over there, which could be good. So points, you'll see how that works soon. And these go up here basically, but that was the round. Then we do the solo. And that's a 2, a 1, and a 2. That's closest. Like that. And I get one more here. But I also have my +1. So with one more, what could I do? That would be good. 1s and 2s already taken here. On the yellow, I could do a 1, which would get me one of those, which gets me any number. But I mean, it's my last action, right? So, oh, I need this fox, of course. Yeah, I need to activate that fox. So I'll take that one as pink. This is ×3, but I'm going to half it to 1. So I got another fox. It's going to be worth more points than me doing 6 points there. Now I am going to use this before the end of the game. So I can take any die again. And what would make sense then? I would love... Well, I could take the white 2 and treat it as a brown, which would get me another blue. Which would, yeah, this is good. So I'm going to take this one for brown 2. This activates any blue, which is going to be a 10 over there. That's going to activate a brown, which is that one. And that's everything. I don't know. I'm not good at this game. I will say that right away. I only played a few times now. I played the previous ones a lot, but this one is new for me. So now we take the back of a sheet here. We're going to do the scoring. So here we go with Niramas and yellow. So I have one row here with 1 in, which is 2 points. I have one with 6, which is 42 points. And I have one with 1, so which is 2. So it's 42, 44, 46 for yellow. Then over at turquoise, you look at the rows and the amount of... So I have 3 here, which is 6 points. That's 2 is 3, so that's 9. And then 15, 18, 19. Not a great score, but yeah. Focus over here on the blue. You look at the leftmost and the rightmost spot. So I have 6 points there and 9 points there, which is 15 total. But then I also have a 10, which gives me 4 extra. So 19 points there as well. On the brown, I filled everything up here. So you just look at the top. Like if I had a gap somewhere, because remember, you can jump this if you want to. I haven't done it, but then I would just ignore that. It would be the actual number. So this time I did do 10, which is 65 points. And on the pink, you just do the actual, what's written. So it's 3, 4, 5, 17, 18, 22, 24, 25. This is not going to be a great score. But hey, I'm here to learn and, well, I'm here to teach the game. Now, fox-wise, I have 2 foxes. The foxes will be worth the same amount of points as the lowest one I have, which is 19 in this case. So I get 38 for 2 foxes times 19. And what is this then? It's 50, 65, 84, 89, 149, 169, 174, 204, 212. It could be worse. It could be worse. You can also look at the back of it here. It says, okay, so I got between 210 and 239. There's room for improvement. Yeah, there is room for improvement. I need to play this game more because it's really fun. I'm having a blast with this. It's such a good game. Really fun. I love these kind of games. And that's pretty clever. And then this one. And it's so easy to play. So smooth and quick. And now I've been explaining things. But I mean, if I play this solo off cam, it's half the time almost or something. Really quick and easy to play, and I love how these new combos, like these new things where you can just turn a die value, you can use it as any if you have that, or like I used one for a 6, whatever. I love that there's bonuses at the end of the actual bonuses, and I also love how the bonuses combo with each other and the different scorings and how it makes my brain work. So much fun. Can really recommend it. Clever Cubed. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If you did, press the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening, morning, or whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye bye.